let's say you want to train it on dogs and horses. So you would have one input and two outputs from your neural net. You would have one input of, let's say, pixel values from a screen, and then your two outputs would be dog and horse. And so you could run your neural net as a classification system, and one of your two node outputs would be dog or horse. But a neural net doesn't know what it doesn't know. If I showed a cat my neural network that I just developed, it could easily come back and say dog, because it just knows about dogs and horses, not cats. So it doesn't know what it doesn't know. So if you feed it a picture, it's not going to say, I don't know, which is extremely important. It's sort of like you're defining nothingness, right? Some non-value. I don't know. It's not stored. It doesn't know what's stored. It doesn't have any kind of understanding of what's stored. So it turns out if you have, if thens, you can't represent every possibility. Let's just put it that way. And if you try to represent every possibility, you get into sort of what's known as the frame problem. If I write an algorithm that says, if something equals 1, do X. Okay, but what if something equals 0.99 or 0.98 instead of 1 or 0.97? So do I write another if-then statement for that? Yeah, maybe. So let's say, okay, this is close enough. So this, if close enough, then do this. All right, well, what about 97, 96, 95, 94? Do we make separate categories for all those? And if we say it's greater than 1, so what? That includes infinity? So the classifiers that I worked with were good for about 6 to 8 classifications. So I could train it on, 6 to 8 things. Let's say cats, dogs, certain kinds of birds. That's 3. Lizards, alligators, pronghorn. I don't know, whatever else. Once you get up to around 6 to 8. Things starts to wash out. That's a good way to think of it. So this is obviously a problem with neural nets, because you do not want them washing out at higher levels. But obviously, for a classification system, I might need to classify more than 6 to 8 things, right? So this is a problem. That's very important to understand is that, so I'll say I have this problem with, I've got this horse and dog network that I trained, and now I want to train it with cats. So if I just feed in my cat pictures and I add another output node, so now I've got 3 dogs, horses, and cats, and now I'm training my neural network with cats. All the information about the dogs and the horses will be lost. Most people don't know that. So that's called catastrophic forgetting. And actually, it's interesting that a lot of people don't know that, because I was at an international conference once, and this conference had the best researchers in the world, probably. And I remember when this one kid from Stanford got up and was talking about his neural net. And maybe I kind of baited him a little bit, but I asked him, how does this get around the catastrophic forgetting problem? And he said, what's catastrophic forgetting? Right? And so, this kid's, he's at Stanford, I think, or University of California. I'm sure he was top of his class. And that's really, the teacher's fault. Maybe the teachers don't realize how big a problem with neural nets catastrophic forgetting is. Again, so that's maybe not his fault, but I was a little surprised that he said, what's catastrophic forgetting? Anyway, now you know what it is.